That made me a little bit nervous. So we'll see how that develops. Yeah. So let's go back to something that you brought up, Perk, in terms of Chet Holmgren. Yesterday, he was guarded by Isaiah Hartenstein. They did that switch, right? And how did we think it resulted? We saw Wemby not get as many points in the paint, was limited a little bit more. Did you like the switch of having Hartenstein on Chet?
My thing is on Wemby, right?
On Wemby, I'm sorry.
My thing is why did it take for you to go down one game? And it makes me think and realize the power of Wemby. Dagnall adjusted before the series even started. You have three of the most elite bigs. Every one of your bigs, from Isaiah Hartenstein to Chet Holmgren to even Jalen Williams. But you started the series in game one already throwing out a different type of game plan instead of trusting that your bigs can get it done. You know what they did last night? They touched him up. Every single time, it wasn't no free runs. It was someone in his chest. It was an elbow in his chest. It was a hand touching. They was always arm's length away from Wemby. And you could tell at times he was frustrated. And also I saw the pride kick in, the one-on-one defense. It wasn't just catch, blow by, go snatch the screws out the rim. No, Wemby had to make he was taking some tough shots, turnarounds, running floaters out of the post. Like, those are the things you want to see. I thought Isaiah Hartenstein and Jalen Williams off the bench. He brought some tenacity. I'm just waiting on Chet Holmgren.
But Perk, you may not get him. I'm gonna go back to something. It was old school. I thought I was watching like 90s basketball. I was waiting for Perk to come out in an OKC uniform last night because of the way they jostled Wemby on virtually every possession, which is the way they're going to have to play him. By the way, Perk, I still think they may have to go back to those wings. They're going to have to do everything. They're going to have to change it up. But it is not going to be officiated the same way. Hartenstein is not going to get away with that kind of physicality. He will have 5 fouls in the first quarter in San Antonio. We know how the officiating swings with that series traveling from OKC to San Antonio. So, yes, Hartenstein did what he needed to do last night. But is that going to be as effective the next night? Well, I don't think so. And they're still going to need Chet in a limited way, because I think Jalen Williams is as important, if not more so, in limited minutes than Chet defensively.
Well, here's where Big Perk says is the level of importance elevates. Chet Holmgren is not capable of being in harassment to Victor Wembanyama on the defensive side of the ball. Because as skinny as Wembanyama is, at least he's got some damn definition. I mean, you look at Chet Holmgren and you literally, it's intriguing to wonder whether or not he's done a push-up. I mean, there's just nothing there. There's just nothing there. You understand what I'm saying? Physically speaking. And so, yes, he can block shots and coming over from the weak side and providing help while somebody else is guarding him. Yeah, that he's capable of it in that regard. But I'm talking about Chet Holmgren being the guy to body up Wemby and to cause the kind of disruption that we saw caused to him last night. I don't see Chet Holmgren being able to do that, which to me makes Jalen Williams even more important. Where Chet is going to be a problem for Wemby is if you preoccupy Wemby by making sure you're a force offensively, which speaks to what you're talking about, Big Perk, in terms of Chet Holmgren, showing up. Because sometimes a potent offense serves as a formidable form of defense, because when you preoccupy people with what you are going to do to them, it might derail what they're trying to do to you to some degree. That, to me, is Chet Holmgren's best shot at having an impact, not on bodying up Wemby. That's going to have to be Hartenstein and Jalen Williams.
Well, listen, let me say this. It's not just him bodying up Wemby. This is personal. This beef between Wemby and Chet goes all the way back to their high school days. I've been saying it for the last 4 or 5 days, and I'm going to continue to say it. Hey, Chet Holmgren, if you watching, Wemby hates you. He hates you. He hates you. He literally hates you. He can't stand the ground that you walk on. He hates you. I need you to bring that same type of energy. I need you to bring that same type of tenacity. The world knows it. At some point, you got to put your feet in the ground and say, I want some of this smoke. I want some of this smoke. I get it. You got other bigs to lean on. But this is personal. And let's not act like Chet don't know that it's personal, because we could go back about 2 to 3 years and go check his X account, because he had a couple things to say, after him and Wemby battles. And we expected early when we saw these two tangle up early in their NBA careers that this was somewhat of a rivalry. Now it's been a bit of separation, but at the end of the day, Stephen A., Chet Holmgren is 7'1", 7'2". It got to come from here, dog.
So Chet,
yeah, but I'm just saying you got to play to your strengths. You got to play to your strengths. Like listen, bro. If I'm competing against Big Perk, you know what I'm saying? I'm on the outside. I'm not trying to come down there. I know better. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, it's just a reality. Certain realities have to kick in. There's certain things that, like I said, they're literally. I mean, you got to. It's a legitimate question looking at him to wonder whether or not. And I'm not. Chet Holmgren can play. He's a champion. I'm not disrespecting him. I'm just talking about the look of his physique. It literally looks like the man has never done a push-up. Literally.
He might
you got to figure out a way.
Wiry
You got to figure out a different way.
I like that.
Wiry strong.
Wiry strong.
13 points last night for him in terms of Chet. 21 points, of course, for Wemby. I thought Isaiah did a pretty good job on him last night.
did.
Brian Windhorst joins us this morning, and injuries starting to mount up in this series for the Spurs. You got De'Aaron Fox with the ankle injury, Dylan Harper with the leg injury, then Jalen Williams on the other side with the lingering hamstring. A.J. Mitchell went down late in the fourth quarter. Wendy, what team are you expecting to have a tougher time overcoming these injuries in this series?
Yeah, San Antonio now is going to be very much paying attention to the MRI machine, because I think Dylan Harper is headed for one today. And what that says is vital to them, because De'Aaron Fox is dealing with a high ankle sprain. And as they're so unpredictable in recovery, and without Dylan Harper, the ball handling becomes so tough against a team like Oklahoma City that is such a hard team to handle the ball against. Stephon Castle is playing well. He's managing relatively well. And he's got 20 turnovers in these two games, 27 points off turnovers for Oklahoma City last night. And not only that, but obviously there's going to be Oklahoma City guys potentially in MRI machines today with Jalen Williams, and then you got to see what's going on with AJ Mitchell. And so I just feel like that's unfortunately the most important thing going into Game 3.
Yeah, look, deep in the postseason, injuries are just a thing, something that we're going to be talking about up until June. Now, just yesterday, Wendy, you told me you didn't think the Thunder would do much adjusting on their defense on Wemby. Game 2, he was held to 21 points. So they did something different. How did OKC switch things up defensively on Wembanyama?
I was wrong. They went away from the wings on him defense and went with a much more traditional big on big, specifically Isaiah Hartenstein. I would argue this is one of the best games he's played in the Thunder uniform. This was a full-on wrestling match. You can see what's going on there, and the referees let them play, which is advantage Thunder. And it made a huge difference. You see what Victor was able to do game over game inside the paint. And I'm going to tell you, some of those baskets in there were some of his incredible putbacks. He had difficulty generating clean shots in there. I think he, look, he's in Game 2, 5 baskets in the paint. In Game 1, you're looking at 13 baskets. Well, that's huge. And I'm actually wondering, with these guard injuries, if Wembanyama isn't going to be needed to play at Game 1 level 2 or 3 more times to get to the finals.
Yeah, OKC figuring something out on defense. Wendy, thanks so much for the insight.